Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. This is absolutely huge. Arsenal want David Raya in goal from Brentford. Absolutely massive news. I feel somewhat vindicated, but actually, sometimes you need to read between the lines. I said a week ago, I was on TalkSport and I said, Ramsdale's a good goalkeeper, but he reminds me of David De Gea, who I loved. I think there's a big issue in relation to his distribution. He can do it, but I don't think he does it as well as Alisson, Edison, Onana, or David Raya. And I've always been confused why a big club didn't go for David Raya. Last season, he played the most forward passes with the most accuracy. Last season, in relation to passes per 90, he was third behind Edison and Alisson. Last season, he had the best save ratio above Pope. He was number one. He's got the distribution. He's got the goalkeeping ability. He's definitely got the potential to play for a top four club. I'm surprised no one's gone for it. Well, this is what David Ornstein has got to say. Arsenal are exploring a deal to sign Brentford goalkeeper David Raya. No bid yet, but Brentford aware of interest. Bayern also pursuing him, but he's keen to join Arsenal. Now, look, all week I've had Arsenal fans shouting on Twitter about, what you said about Ramsdale, what you said about Rambo. You don't get it. I've been through this process with United. I didn't think we needed to replace David De Gea. I love David De Gea. And I think Arsenal fans feel the same about Ramsdale. And I think Ramsdale should be England's number one. But is there an English goalkeeper that can play football the way that Alisson can play it? The way that Edison can play it? The way that Raya can play it? The way that Onana will play it? No, we don't have that style of goalkeeper. Ramsdale is more De Gea than he is an Alisson. And I think Arsenal want to win the league. Man City, Pep, went in, changed the goalkeeper. Ten Hag's done it within a year with the Golden Glove winner. I don't think Ramsdale is the sort of goalkeeper that Man City, Liverpool, Man United are going to have next season. And the question is, do Arsenal need that type of goalkeeper or don't they? And I think what Arteta is doing here is he's giving himself that option. Instead of being exposed without that type of goalkeeper, I think he's saying to his board, look at what Man United have just done. That's ruthless. That's because they want a modern goalkeeper. Everyone's going for a modern goalkeeper. We don't really have it. We can try Ramsdale, but he might not be able to do it. David Raya would be a really smart signing. And I think that's what he said to the board. I think Ramsdale will start as number one and he will have the opportunity. I would argue he has the right to have that opportunity. He had a good season last year. But it does serve what I and some others were saying last week. Is he a modern goalkeeper in the sense of his ball distribution to the level that some of these goalkeepers are now? And it's a sharp no for Ramsdale. He's either got to massively improve his game in that area or he won't be that type of goalkeeper. And then Arsenal potentially leave themselves a little bit short. So it's a shock that Arsenal have done it because Arteta bought Ramsdale. And essentially, if they buy Raya, I'm sure they'll say it's to compete for the number one shirt. But I saw it at United. The way the main Man United fans turned against De Gea, even though he was a good shot stopper, the way they turned against him and said he can't pass out from the back. Let's be honest, Arsenal fans aren't naive either. They'll be looking at it and going, oh, we need a bit of that as well. We need a bit of that as well. And David Raya does tick that box. So interesting to see if it develops into something. But obviously, David Ornstein's a very good journalist. And the fact that Arteta's even looking for a goalkeeper like that justifies what I was saying last week. So let's wait and see what happens. Get your comments in below on that one. It's massive, really. It really is for Arsenal. It's absolutely huge. There is other news coming out as well. I mean, look, I was not going to do a video about this. Some people said I would. Liverpool are in talks with PSG over a loan move for France striker Kylian Mbappe. This is coming in from the Sunday Mirror. Look, I'm sure Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United and every other club in the Premier League would like a loan move for Kylian Mbappe. It's not, the story's not the shock. The reality is that it won't probably happen. Liverpool could be any club in the Premier League. Of course, you take Kylian Mbappe on loan. For me, he's the best player in the world. Whether he's got the best ideas in the world is up for debate, but I think he's the best player in the world. Do I think he'll go to Liverpool? Absolutely not. I think he's going to obviously want to go to Real Madrid at some point, and I'm interested to see whether that will happen. What I think for Liverpool and what I think for Chelsea is that this week you've got to start doing something. I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans, having watched them in pre-season, say that midfield is a little bit like United up front. What are they going to do? Well, United have just gone and bought Rasmus Højlund. Obviously, hopefully that's going to work out. I'm very excited about that. But Liverpool do need to go and buy a midfielder. They do. This Lavia deal needs to get done. The season will be upon us in 2 weeks, and Liverpool need to get that midfielder in, because I think it's a position. I actually think Liverpool could miss out on top 4. They could be battling with Arsenal, with Man City, to be second. But if they don't get that midfield sorted, they may have a season like last year, where their defence gets overrun and their attack doesn't get the service. So they do need to go and get that midfielder. Henderson's gone, Fabinho's going. You've got to go and try and get a midfielder that's going to really be the engine of that team and win the ball back and feed it to the attack. So Lavia, if that's the player they need to move. As for Chelsea and Caicedo, it's incredible how long that deal's been going on. I mean, it's basically been common knowledge, Chelsea, Caicedo, since the back end of May. We're now into August and that deal's still not been done. I respect Brighton, what they're doing. They've got every right to say Declan Rice has gone for £100 million. We want £100 million. But you'd have to question the negotiation on that. As a Chelsea fan, you'd have to question it. Brighton have set their stall out and been very stubborn about it. Where's Chelsea's negotiation on this? Because it seems to me that they're just trying to get it down from 100 million, and maybe they get him for 90 million, but when do you get him now? Maybe you should have done that a month ago, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's so important to get players in pre-season, at least 2 weeks before the start of the season, and that's something Chelsea haven't done as of yet. Bayern Munich and Harry Kane, boring story, I know, but they are still very confident that they will complete the signing of Harry Kane. Again, from a Spurs point of view, I do think that they have to be thinking about getting that deal done sooner rather than later. Harry Kane not in a Spurs side is huge. I think Harry Kane in a Spurs side doesn't get you top 4, but without Harry Kane, that makes you worse, doesn't it? So what's the contingency plan? Is it Richarlison down the middle for the whole season without Harry Kane? I mean, stranger things have happened, it could work, but this would be a frustration if I was a Spurs fan or a Spurs coach. All right, Harry Kane's going to go. Let's get it done last week. Not in the not at the end of the transfer window. You might make a few more million, but 5-10 million doesn't do me any good. I would rather sell him for 10 million less and him go on August the 1st than he goes on August 31st for 10 million more. That just helps the club. That just helps Daniel Levy. I need now. I need solutions now. So obviously a lot of clubs are coming back from tour now. The Community Shield is next Sunday. I expect to start seeing an influx of signings, because we are getting to the business end of this transfer window now, where games are starting to be played competitively and points are up for grabs. And I think some teams at the moment look like they're quite disjointed, and certainly going to be very interesting. But I'm blown away by that news about Arsenal and David Raya from Ornstein. And I can't wait to read the comments on this, because I got a lot of stick in the week from Arsenal fans saying, you don't know what you're on about with Ramsdale. And I said, I do. He doesn't rank in the top 5 goalkeepers from last year for anything to do with distribution. He's just not at that level. I like Ramsdale. Can the modern footballer take on criticism? At the end of the day, I think Ramsdale's a good goalkeeper. I put him in the category of De Gea. I didn't want De Gea to go, but there is a very distinct difference between goalkeepers like David Raya, David De Gea, Nick Pope, Ramsdale. They're a certain type of goalkeeper and they're fantastic. But there's a different breed at the moment that people want, and they are the Edisons, they are the Alissons, they are the Onanas, they are David Rayas, and it's about what you want to do as a club. You're Everton, you probably don't give a shit. You just want someone to save the many shots you're going to concede. But if you're a Man City or a Liverpool, you want your goalkeeper to be the first line of attack, starting attacks. And have Arsenal got that in their progression to try and be a Man City? It always stood up like a sore thumb that Arteta would want a goalkeeper who can do that. Will he get it? Get your comments in below. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 1 million, and I'm looking forward to the comments. Speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching.